Hey everybody, this is Samantha Harms with the Garrison Public Affairs Office, and on this week's episode of our podcast, we're talking, what does a first sergeant do in the Army? AKA, we're talking about leadership, non-commissioned officers, just all the kinds of things that you just might need to know. So let's get right on into it on this week's episode of The Great Big Podcast.
Welcome back. This is Eric Franklin with the Garrison Public Affairs Office, and we have some more First Cav in the building today. They like to come out and hang out with us.
Always.
Can you introduce yourself for us?
So you got us on First Class Christopher Hammerhead, First Cav all every day.
And First Sergeant?
First Sergeant Stephen Mosley, the HSC First Sergeant of HHBN, the First Sergeant. They call me AKA the GOAT.
The GOAT. Why did they call you the GOAT?
Because I'm the greatest of all time, sir.
Oh, that's what. Hey.
AKA the fixer.
Hey.
If you got problems, that's what I do. I fix them.
Hey. So, First Sergeant Mosley, what is your MOS?
I am a field artilleryman, 13 Bravo, cannon crewman. I pull a string, I go boom.
Okay. So, tell us what started your journey in the Army?
That's a good question. So, truth be told, I didn't graduate high school.
Okay.
So I ended up making a fake high school diploma to join the Army.
Okay.
But my recruiter caught it at the last moment and asked me, like, why did I do that? Because I wanted to do something. Because in my household, it's either go to school, go to the service. I didn't feel like going to school, but I wanted to, join the service. So I got caught with the fake high school diploma, but my recruiter got me in on a technicality. They said I had all my credits to actually graduate high school, even though I didn't pass the exit exam in the state of Texas.
Okay.
So I got in that way. That's how I joined the Army.
Okay. And so you're from, where in Texas are you from?
From Dallas, Texas.
Dallas?
Oak Cliff, that's my hood.
Oak Cliff, okay. So we'll come back to you to being from the greatest state, Texas. I know it's not
Jersey.
Jersey.
I don't know about no Jersey. Ain't nothing good came from Jersey.
Yeah.
Everything good
Besides
comes
the
from
Jersey Shore. And
Yeah.
they over there fist pumping.
Hey, New Jersey Drive, that was good. We gotta say New Jersey Drive was good.
Oh, that old movie, New Jersey Drive.
Naughty
He's
by
stealing
nature.
cars.
Naughty by nature came from New Jersey.
Yes. So let's talk about the Army. For you, what's been the most memorable before you became a first sergeant? What's been one of the most memorable things that you've done as a non-commissioned officer?
Being a recruiter.
Why was that so cool?
Because I actually got to put people that was on the verge of being homeless into the United States Army and actually give them some kind of stability to help with their families and actually have a career going forward. So that was like one of my most rewarding jobs.
Okay. And so as a first sergeant, can you elaborate just on what the responsibilities as a first sergeant? I think a lot of people just see you as the senior non-commissioned officer in a company or a troop. Tell us what you do.
So the first sergeant is actually the senior enlisted aide of the commander. My responsibility is that I'm there to assist the commander on anything dealing with enlisted soldiers, training, most importantly, the health and welfare of the organization, along with the morale.
I think when you're a senior non-commissioned officer and you're able to impact that wisdom of those, I've done that, Specialist Franklin or Private Franklin. How do you think soldiers react to that when they know like you've been where they are?
Some are receptive because it's kind of like they're like having that father figure or whatever. Yeah. It's like, well, I've been there and I've done that, but they don't really want to listen. They're gonna have to find out on their own. Some they listen to it and they run with it. But yeah.
All right. In your experience, how can a first sergeant, how does your position, how do you best foster the readiness within your formation?
Good question. So starts off with, physical fitness along with make sure that the soldier is well trained and taken care of, meaning that they're mentally, physically, spiritually prepared for whatever they may have to do for it. Make sure that the family's taken care of, most importantly, because if stuff ain't right at home, it ain't gonna be right at work.
Yeah.
Next question.
All right. Next question.
That's not how that works.
Yeah. No, my bad.
Next question.
My bad.
Next question. It's good. It's good.
I mean, really, when it boils down to it, it's like the first sergeant is. They used to have this term, the mother of the organization.
Yeah.
To make sure everything soldiers are taken care of along with their families. That's what it really is when it boils down to it being a first sergeant. Any other first sergeant will tell you the same thing.
Do you get enjoyment out of being able to teach and lead non-commissioned officers and junior soldiers to prepare them for deployments or just for life in general?
Both.
Both?
I get enjoyment out of all that, especially seeing a troubled soldier doing the whole 360, becoming something that they never thought they could be. So I get none but my heart gets filled heavy with that.
So for you and your company, what strategies do you maintain? What strategies do you use to maintain high morale and motivation within your unit?
Oh man, I'm glad you asked that. So I just took over the HHBN First Scout Division, First Armed Position. My formation is mainly staff personnel, so majority everybody in the formation outranks me to a certain degree. But
I don't.
I don't run from that. You know what I'm saying? No. So what I do is every other morning, or I try to start off with a joke of the week.
Okay.
Just try to get them to smile more a little bit. That's pretty much all I can do, is actually letting them know, like, hey, whatever you need, I got you.
Okay.
I am here for you as your first sergeant. Use me.
Here's my question. This is a question that I have because it's a thing that I saw from when I was in the military. Did you smile in your command picture?
Yeah.
So there's a reason behind that. That I'm going to ask is, why did you smile in your command picture?
Because I got a nice smile.
So I asked that because when I was in the Army, whenever I had a commander or a first sergeant or a sergeant major or a battalion or brigade commander, if they didn't smile, it kind of made me feel intimidated to go talk to them. But when I see that you smile in your command picture, that makes you more approachable to me.
And that was the key to that. That's what I wanted to be, approachable. Even though sometimes I have like a resting face.
Yeah.
I am very approachable. I can
Nah, that's not true.
Oh, word?
First on is usually angry all the time.
I am not angry. I have no reason to be angry.
You just have a lot going on.
I have no reason to be angry.
He's in Texas and it's hot, so that's part of it.
No, but I smile on my phone just to show soldiers that I am approachable. I want them to come to me with their problems, because I'd be damn if they go to somebody else with an issue. That made me feel less of an NCO.
For both of you, as senior non-commissioned officers in the formation, how do you see being able to be approachable? Because that, to me, that's the most important thing about being a non-commissioned officer. How important is it to be approachable to your soldiers? Oh,
honestly, it's everything. It creates the atmosphere immediately that if there is an issue, like First Sergeant said, if there's an issue, you can come and talk to me, because this day and age, I think everybody pretty much suffers in silence, and then that old school Army is to suffer in silence, and you never go to sick call, you never talk to anybody. You go home, you drink, and you just bury yourself, in a bottle of alcohol or something. We would that's just how it was. You never communicate, and now, I think now we're starting to see the effects of that. And I was breaking down command structures. I mean, the trust across many organizations have failed just due to that. So approachability is huge. And it's not even just the ones which is interesting for the First Sergeant, because like you said, technically, I mean, he has very few soldiers, but is in charge of a lot of soldiers. So it's like, even if, I directly don't work for you, I need to be able to know that I can come to you with many issues. Because even as a senior, like for me, I'll reach out and ask First Sergeant questions about NCOERs, because even though the rank is senior, a lot of the experience is, maybe doing MOS specific things, or maybe doing this or that. So, coming to the First Sergeant to say, hey, Top, hey, how do I put this code in this NCOER? Like, I don't know how to do that. Yeah. And I mean, it's huge. And having that ability to, go and talk to him is, I mean, for me, it's helped me out ridiculously. And, I just became a senior, but even being a senior, I know I need that mentorship still to this day. Okay. And for you, First Sergeant? I don't know how you follow that though, Top.
Nah, I was there. I was spot on. You got to be approachable in this day and age, because the way things are is like, if you're not approachable, they're gonna let it be known, like on social media or something. Like, oh, my first line is this and this and that, and it creates that not toxic, because we don't use that word anymore, but that divide. That divide, which you don't need, because at the end of the day, we're trying to build cohesive teams to go over there and win America's.
How, since when you came in the military, social media wasn't really a big thing, and now it is. How do you, as a First Sergeant, combat the stuff that you may see on social media versus how you lead, or does that impact how you lead?
social media doesn't impact how I lead because I'm not on social media.
Okay.
So I don't live my life through social media. But at the end of the day, we're soldiers 24/7, regardless of what we post on social media, because what we do post on social media can have an impact on our careers.
Yeah.
So we just have to keep reminding soldiers to be mindful of what they post on social media, because at the end of the day, you still represent the United States Army.
Okay. And for you, so I have same thing. I know that. Yeah, you're 37 too, right?
Yeah, I just turned 37.
Oh man,
So-
blessings.
For you, how have you seen that change in how non-commissioned and how leaders lead in this social media age?
Oh, it is. I'm gonna be honest. What is it? They call it what? Direct to consumer.
Yeah.
Feedback. Like you get that feedback almost instantaneous now.
Yeah.
Honestly, as a leader, I think that's like the biggest concern is one way or another your unit will let you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny because back in the day it was like command climate surveys.
Yeah.
Honestly, now I just think it's one post on Army WTF or one little secret site of your unit. Like that's literally how a lot of commands get whether or not they're doing good or bad.
Yeah.
Because and it's interesting to see soldiers really don't, which is weird. Soldiers really don't care what they post.
Yeah.
And it throws me off because they'll do it in uniform.
Yeah.
They'll do it in uniform with the patch showing, their name showing. It's just, it blows my mind. But, I think it's an amazing tool if used properly, because it does allow you to know whether or not you get a solid, gauge of if your troopers are receptive to what you're doing. So.
Okay.
And I think the ones that are posting, they don't care because their leadership is not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
So as soon as somebody really made an example of it, that will stop.
See, but that's what's scary nowadays too, is that making an example of someone is extremely difficult.
Not making an example. That's wrong, because now it seems like
No. When I say but at the end of the day, I do think that everyone is, and I don't know if it's a generational thing or just the way the Army shifted, but there is a ridiculous amount of like lack of accountability at the junior ranks.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And like I feel like you can get away with more now than you could have ever in your since I've been in, and it's funny to me. I was talking to the soldier one time and he was like he had to be like an 8-year specialist.
Yeah.
And he was like he never
Proud of it too.
he was like he never wanted to get promoted. And I was like, why? You know what I'm saying? Because you get more money, responsibility, all these things. He literally said, because if I'm ever in trouble, I could just point to the nearest NCO and blame him. And I'm like, wow, that's like, it's sad, but it's true. Not even if we could wear different patches. I ain't even got to know you. I could be a National Guard NCO. You could be in active duty. I can be, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be on retiring. It doesn't matter. You go to a junior enlisted, let's say a sergeant major comes up to him or a colonel comes up to him. They're going to look for the nearest NCO.
And glass them.
And then that's a wrap. I don't even know the soldier. I don't even know this kid.
Like, let me get away from this soldier right now.
This is the first time I'm seeing him when you said something to him.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. It's weird. Like I've never seen that. And that shift it is hard to hold people accountable. And social media, I can do whatever I feel like. And then I feel like when you get senior in the rank, you kind of just handcuffed to, because you hate to admit it, but it's there.
Yeah, well, you got more to lose.
Yeah. And social, what I've seen over the last few years of social media is that so many people just want to share information, and they want to be cool. I get it. A lot of people want to be cool, but some things that you think are cool are definitely not cool.
There's a lot of cornballs.
Yeah. It's like, it's cool, but it's not. It's going to get you in trouble. Like if the right person, I see a lot of stuff that's on there that's questionable, and I'm like, you know what? I understand the funny in that. However, it may not be funny if someone else sees it, and I think a lot of service members who post don't realize that. They don't think like, oh, this is funny. Like I get it, but someone else is going to see that and they're going to be like, nope, I don't like that. That's offensive. Which some of it is quite well. But
I had some soldiers that posted something on social media back in my old battery. They had posted it and it got back to me. So I looked at it, like, all right, cool. So I texted the soldier directly, like, hey, this is on your Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, but I recommend that you take this down because this can get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And I had to explain it to them because a lot of soldiers just don't know. So like you said, they're going to do what they want, but they don't really know because nowadays the way like I said, the Army shift, it's not that old school mentality, but the new school is not actually learning the actual duties and responsibilities of what they can and can't do.
Yeah.
Because you can't get in trouble for what you
Yes.
post on social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm pretty sure I could have gotten in trouble for some of the stuff I just said up in there, but
No.
Nah, it's that's why you got public affairs here with you. I
Yeah.
make sure you was good.
Yeah, we were gonna take care of you. He was gonna take care of you.
Edit.
Yeah. Edit. You won't even know it's there.
Exactly. I thought everybody's eating the chips.
So for you, just closing out, what are your leadership fundamentals for you? What do you hold as your leadership fundamentals?
Man, you asking big questions.
That's not a big question.
Fundamentals, like
You were first on. I mean, I'm sure you got them written down somewhere.
no, I don't. I just
For you,
Wing it.
how about this?
no. I try to live by the NCO creed.
Okay.
I try to think of how can I better assist this service member to get from A to B, and how to make the organization better each day.
Okay. So Hammond, how do you do that?
You don't do nothing.
I don't do nothing. No. Honestly, I take for me. I look at my career and kind of what I've went through, and I'm at a position now. Funny, I'm at a rank now. When I came in, like this rank was like some of the most offensive people in my career. Because like at the beginning of my career was really rough. Just given being from New Jersey and then trying to come into the Army as a broadcaster, like I don't really speak the way the Army would prefer you to speak.
Yes.
Oh, in doctrine terms, yes.
Yes, yeah. So like this rank was like the one that really, really went above and beyond to remind me of who I was.
Yeah.
So I remembered that and held on to that, and so now I try to be better than everyone that I've seen before me.
Yeah.
I always try to care about my soldiers. I think is the most thing. And honestly, at the end of the day, I put my soldiers above the Army.
Yeah.
Solely because like the Army continue. It will always continue. Like at the end of the day, I mean, soldier go down right now and the Army will find a way to put someone in their spot. But like that soldier will have to live with that, you know? And so I try to be someone that at the end of the day, my soldiers, they listen to me because me, not because of the rank.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Man,
That's the truth.
I was finna say because your soldier's room this morning looking like straight trash.
So with that being said, no, I like that. With that being said, what I had to learn when I became a senior
Yeah.
was the power of delegation.
Okay.
And that is why there is a entire NCO support channel before my soldiers get to me.
Yeah.
So my NCOs that I've empowered, which that's empowerment.
You know,
I didn't realize that delegation is empowerment.
I had
Yeah.
to give him a hard time.
Have dropped the ball in certain areas and I'm gonna pick it up.
I got to give him a hard time.
It wasn't that bad. It was pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Okay. All right, we're gonna close it out. Is there any final word, parting words that either one of you guys would like to tell the young soldiers, young NCOs about your time and how to be great in the military?
I mean, at the end of the day, the Army and the military is what you make it. It's real easy to be successful in it, and it's real easy to not be successful. So
Yeah.
just it ain't that hard. A lot of people just don't like to be told what to do. 'Cause
Yeah.
everybody think they grown. I'm grown.
Everybody want to be in charge until they have to be in charge.
Everybody want to be in charge, but nobody want to be in charge.
Yeah. Then that's when it becomes a problem. When you have to be in charge, it's like, well, why didn't you know this? Well,
Especially like 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, somebody need to go to the MP station, pick up that soldier. I ain't in charge.
it's like,
Some
my
days, that's
soldier.
how
You know what I'm
yours come
saying?
out. I was like, I don't want nothing to do with that.
And for you?
Mine's is simple. It's always been simple. The Army changed my stars. So where I came from, what I've seen and what I've done, I could have never imagined this in my entire life. Like if you ever go to East Orange, New Jersey, I've seen places like people couldn't even imagine, and so for me it changed my stars, like completely through and through, and I would tell soldiers to look at the programs because there's so many of them and capitalize on them, and it's funny because if you go through it really, like even just something simple as school,
Yeah.
the tuition assistance, like, the that coupled with FAFSA, like you end up making money. You know, you get. There's so many different programs around that, you know, it kills me inside, because at the end of the day, I think every soldier has that, you know, father or uncle or brother, when they get out, they're gonna work for and make you know, $100,000 or $1 million here and there. You know,
Yeah.
I ain't never had that. You know, like when I say I was poor, like poor.
Yeah.
Like evicted. Like
He sound like that. So poor.
like I mean, I'm dead serious. Like poor. You know, and so for me to be able to go to places like New Zealand, Hawaii, you know, Indonesia, Malaysia, Australia, you know, and not even just go, and a lot of people, especially back home, when they try to knock the military, they'll hit you with that as, well, the Army did that. No, I wore my suit to work.
Yeah.
And then once I was off, I took this off, I threw on civilian clothes, and I went and partied in Australia.
Yeah.
I had a great time in Australia, you know, and like a lot of people don't see that, and it sucks. And it's funny because First Sergeant said something, and it was so dope to me. It was like his greatest time was recruiting.
Yeah.
And it was like how many people I essentially saved, and it's like, yo, that's what did it for me. Like this changed my stars. So I ain't never knocking it. I'm gonna do my 20. I'm gonna get out though. Let's not get it twisted. But it changed my stars. Like I tell you, because if y'all had met Chris Hammond from East Orange, New Jersey,
we wouldn't have had a car.
yeah, look, a car. Like I'd have been working at Easy Pass. Like I'd have been still trying to, you know, bag groceries at ShopRite.
I still be working at Whataburger,
Yeah.
chicken strips.
Like
That's what I did. So it was all right. So this messed me up, right? Oh, I'm hitting the mic. So I'm 16-year-old, right, working a night shift at Whataburger, knowing I had to go to school the next day. The lady kept me there longer than what it was expected. She's like, Steven, I need you to stay later. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that. Steven, I need you to stay later a little longer. I'm like, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to be at school the next day. She's like, well, I was like, okay, bet. I got you. So I had this little red bike that I used to ride to work. So I went outside. So before I went outside, I don't condone stealing. So
let me tell you the story real quick.
yeah, I filled this little bucket up with a bunch of chicken strips from Whataburger. I went outside, got my little red bike. I beat on the window, boom, boom, boom. I quit and rolled off.
Bucket of chicken strips.
Ready.
With no deal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get an invite to come back here.
Nah. We'll invite you back.
I got more stories, boy.
Well, again, I like to thank you guys for coming out and telling us a little bit about the roles of the non-commissioned officer and the role of the first sergeant in the unit. Again, you guys are welcome back whenever. Like we have a monthly standing slot for the 1st Cavalry Division. So if you want to come back again, just let us know. All right, and thank you guys, and everyone else. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Let's keep it real. You're out having fun, you have a few drinks, now you're ready to go home, and you're pretty confident you can drive yourself, right? Think again. Don't be that person. Have a plan, call a friend, and don't drink and drive.
You know, every time First Cav comes on here, I think we just need to have them a permanent seat in here because they're in here a lot.
I know.
And, you know, I'm not mad at it, but they can come in as long as they want. But this time when they came on, talking about leadership and the role that the first sergeant plays in the unit was very important. And I liked that first sergeant was open about, you know, he didn't expect to be in the Army, especially this long. So it's always important to learn from those who outrank us and those who've been here for a little bit longer than we have in the Army.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to keep an open mind on stuff too.
Yeah.
Because even if you are in the Army, maybe you don't know exactly what somebody's doing, what their position is, what their role is, because I know that I have that problem sometimes of like, oh, yeah, let me go talk to this person. I don't actually know what they do, but I know I'm supposed to go talk to them.
I know that they know exactly what they do.
Yes. And so you have that aspect, plus then the aspect of if somebody is out there listening who's maybe considering going, or their family member is a first sergeant, or they know somebody who knows somebody who is a first sergeant. Now they know what that person does.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's important to keep an open mind because you never know where
Yeah.
life is going to take you. So
I did not expect life to take me back to Fort Cavazos, where I was born all these years, and to be working on Fort Cavazos. Didn't expect that.
I never expected to be living in Texas in general.
Just
at
in
all.
Texas in
Just
general.
in Texas. Never thought I'd be here.
Speaking of things that weren't expected,
Ooh, good transition.
yeah. What's happening in the news this week?
Although I think it's expected stuff, so
Well,
it's not unexpected.
I'll come back with a better transition
okay.
next week.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So this week we're reminding people again, still to conserve water where you can. CARDAMC, the Carl R. Darnell Army Medical Center, is having another sports physical. The pediatric clinic is offering school and sports physicals August 5th. That's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
And of course, because we're talking about that, it's important to know we're going back to school. First day of school is
August 14th.
14th. That's correct for Killeen Independent School District. And then we have some others.
Trickle.
Yes.
Trickle, that's the word.
We've got some
That
I'm
trickle
sure
on.
before and after, in between. We're really coming up close to back to school. So Family and Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, along with Child and Youth Services here at Fort Cavazos, is going to host a back-to-school bash August 11th from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. at Comanche Youth Center for all those CYS registered youth grades 6 through 12.
Coolio.
Very exciting. What else we got going on? Let's see. Oh, speaking of FMWR, they're also hosting another outdoor movie night.
Woot, woot.
August 12th, so right before school starts again.
Okay.
You can go out, hang out one more time. It's going to be at the Belton Lake Outdoor Recreation Area.
Blower.
That's correct. It's going to start, the event site is opening at 8 p.m., but the movie's starting at 9 p.m. Entry is $15 per vehicle, so pack people into that vehicle.
As many as you can get.
You are allowed to bring your own lawn chairs, blankets, and snacks.
Speaking of lawn chairs, I've been seeing a lawn chair that holds 6 people on the interwebs.
I'm sorry, what?
It holds 6 people.
Chair?
It's a chair. It's like one of those
folding
folding
chairs. That doesn't sound like
chairs.
a chair. That sounds like a couch.
Either way, that would be perfect. That would be a perfect time to pop that out.
It really would be, actually. Yeah.
It's like everyone can sit down.
Yeah. I have seen like the love seat
I've
chairs,
seen those, yes.
but they're really couches because they're 2 chairs like put together. And they're like, oh, here you go. Here's an outdoor love seat. It's like foldable. And you're like, why?
I used to have a rocking chair one that was an outdoor.
Oh, yeah.
rocking
I have
chair.
an outdoor rocking chair. Yes.
So much.
It's really nice for softball.
It is.
Yeah.
I can believe it.
Yeah. But like the outdoor, especially now, you get so hot and sticky and like sweaty that I do not want somebody sitting that close to me.
I do not want you to touch me.
Yeah, no, I
because
don't.
your sticky is going to be my sticky.
Yes, when you're like wearing shorts and your legs get sweaty and then you touch your leg on the other person's leg, you're like, nope.
Nope,
Now I felt it. I felt our legs became one leg.
Day's over. That's it.
Yeah,
it's time to go home.
disgusting. I hate that. Ugh, gross.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank you guys for listening to the podcast this week. Now, that's it. I have to go wash my hands again because that just makes me feel icky. But again, we'd like to thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Be sure to leave us a comment and send us a message. If you want to hear something, a particular topic, let us know. And again, thank you guys for listening. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison Fort Cavazos and Fort Cavazos Public Affairs production. Have a question or want to share some of your wisdom with us? Drop us an email at fortcavazos@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fort Cavazos Army. And as always, be sure to leave us a review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.